Make no attempt to reload your device. You are now entering the Hellhole.
Mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it.
But a kiss can be even deadlier if you mean it.
We're live, pal! It's Christmas morning, and when you know it, we've found ourselves here in this desolate wasteland known as the Hellhole. I'm internet sensation Mick Lucifer, feeling a little bit sore and sorry, but looking forward to another Christmas, sharing it with you. When you know it.
Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection.
Hey man, you're spoiling it. This guy's just announcing it. So I did the pre-order thing for this one. I don't usually pre-order games, but obviously I was incredibly excited for the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. We've been talking about it a whole lot if you've been in the Hellhole with me, and I'm not getting to it until now. Came out a week late here, so there was no real sense of urgency, and I kind of put it down. And I've been a little bit busy, and things have been a little bit hectic. Hey, if you're following the saga of the flooded bathroom and stuff, we have some floors now. The floors are still wet. You can't walk on them. There's a floor in there, though. That's progress. So I thought about doing, like, any number of things, but it's really late. It's Christmas morning. It's like 1 a.m. Christmas morning, thereabouts. So I'm not doing anything too fancy. I'm really keen to see where this goes. You missed out on the epilepsy warning. So if you're buying this game and you're curious, there is an epilepsy warning. So if that sways your interest, you know. I also got what is it? Sayonara Wild Hearts. This is $10 brand new. I'm curious about that, but I'm probably not going to play that tonight. I don't know. Immediately, I'm noticing the faux CRT filter. I think these filters are a lie. The picture never looked like that back in the day, and I don't care for it. That's where I'm coming down. So I haven't played this at all. This is literally the first time. You're gonna get all the loading, all the miserable delays. I don't remember how to play these games one iota, and I was never that good to begin with. I'm an enthusiast. If you're looking for a technical showcase, you need to go somewhere else. Right now, pal. Enter my age, but there's only 2 numbers. How's a man supposed to do that? Won't affect gameplay, huh? I can't change this again. What? What does it matter? Leave me alone. See, this is why you don't do this stuff on stream. I don't want to be making decisions. I want to be playing my damn game. Look at this! Oh my god, what is Fighter Awards? There's stuff. You get stuff for doing stuff, I guess. Look at that, it's like shiny coins. Ooh, that's a gold-looking one. Look at all the fabulous prizes. What's the museum? It's a gallery. How exciting. The Punisher is the one that I'm really excited about, but I almost feel like I wanna do a separate run of that. Maybe we'll dabble. Check that out. There's the Jim Lee ad that you would have seen if you were buying comics back in the day. I guess when is that? That's like 93, 94 or something like that. You'd see those ads on the backs of comics or inside comics. check that out, all that groovy art. I like this. You can zoom in, you can look at all this stuff. The great thing about this Punisher game, and really about all the Capcom games, is that they are really steeped in comics. There's a weird sort of like 1989 thing going on where they're a little bit off the pace. I'm not sure if Marvel was submitting that stuff or if that stuff was finding an audience in Japan. Maybe if somebody at Capcom was just an enthusiast. Check that out. That's really cool looking Frank Castle. I dig that. Nick Fury's looking a little fresh there, a little young, but I still like it. Getting those silver wings. I reckon I'm going to get silver wings soon enough. If I keep dealing with all this stress. But the great thing is, like, I'm thinking about maybe I'll bring in these issues because I've got most of the issues that these characters correspond with, which is really, really cool. And it's sort of like a period of like 89, 90, not sure if it creeps up to 91, but they're all, Bushwhacker, Kingpin, Bonebreaker, whatever. Is it Bonebreaker? I think that's right. That robot is not just any robot, man. That's a Doombot. I don't think it's described as such in the game. I could be wrong. I've never played the game. I'm looking forward to playing the game. If you're here to see the games, too bad, buddy. I'm gonna bask in this. I'm gonna soak in it. Man, these were the days. So I used to rent these games. I never actually owned any of them, so that's something that's really thrilling about finally getting my hands on this collection. And like in the last couple of years, I would check secondary markets like eBay. I'd periodically be looking these games up on eBay. I would be checking the PlayStation Store to see if anything was available. I think, was it available previously? You got those arcade 1-up machines for a while there. They were the way to play these games. But back in the day, I would rent a lot of these games for PlayStation. I guess it would have crept into PS2 by the time Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was around. But also arcade machines were around back then. I remember wandering away from a bowling game with friends to dabble in some Marvel vs. Capcom 2 just quickly. Like I said, I was never really particularly good at these games, but check that out. You get like this, is this Bangus? I think this is Bangus, but War Machine. I mean, how cool is that? War Machine in a game, you kidding me? Psylocke, looking deadly. Sabretooth, always a favorite villain. I dig Sabretooth. This is my favorite sort of iteration of Sabretooth. I like the original Sabretooth, and I like Sabretooth when he's a big guy. For a while there, he got like quite weedy, and then there was some talk of clones and stuff. I don't need any of that. I dig that look, Sabretooth. And I guess the X-Men animated series was a big influence. Not that it would apply to Colossus, because he wasn't really, he wasn't a regular. He didn't wear his uniform like that in the show. He was a guest character, which is a great idea. We're going to go off on some wild tangents here, so get ready, because we love comics, we love Capcom games. Speaking of Capcom games, this is the first time I've had WWE 2K23 out of my... I said 2.3. I did. I just said 2.3. It's the first time I've taken the 2K23 out, because I've been doing... the Capcom Wrestling Association. Go head to the YouTube. There's a link. We're live to Twitch right now. We're live, pal. Head over to there, and you can see the latest episode, sort of a Christmas episode. I think that was, what, the 21st, 22nd? All kinds of Capcom wrestling going on there. We got a little bit of SNK. We've even dabbled in a bit of Marvel vs. Capcom. I decided not to go with these characters. I've decided to sort of root it in professional wrestling and really double down on the wrestling stuff. So I pulled in some superheroes that are relevant to wrestling, because in Marvel Comics there was the Unlimited Class Wrestling Federation, which the Thing went to, and he met D-Man Demolition Dunphy. The first appearance of D-Man was in like Thing 28 or something, maybe a bit earlier, 27, 26. And D-Man's the character I went with because he's an obscure, wacky one that I like. He's a wrestler. It makes sense. I've gone with the more modern design. We got his a version of his earlier original design in there, and we might do the famous sort of Daredevil Wolverine looking one. But that's all there. This is here now. This is Marvel vs. Capcom, and I'm digging it. This is very exciting. I like this. I like this art because it's got the more saturated, vivid colors. This feels more Marvel via Capcom. There's a great Capcom sensibility that I really enjoyed, but they retain the core, like, identifiable Marvel look. Even a character like Gambit. There's War Machine again. Man, I love War Machine. People talk trash about Iron Man, okay? Get a grip, you freaks. Okay, people like to say that it was the Robert Downey Jr. movie that made Iron Man a factor, that he was a B, C. Some people say a D-list character. You know, there was some bad times in the 90s there where there was the teenage Iron Man. That was clearly a mistake. It was short-lived. Iron Man ruled. I used to love the animated series. I've been watching the Fantastic Four animated series recently from the Marvel Action Hour in 1994. And it was around this time Iron Man, War Machine, of course, was a regular character there. Jim Rhodes helping out Tony Stark, and you had sort of like a version of Force Works. It wasn't quite the Avengers West Coast. It was more so Force Works. You had Sentry and all that. Sentry's not in this game, but I love that War Machine's in there. There's a U.S. agent, sort of color swap for Captain America. It's not quite U.S. agent. It would have been cool if it was, or the Captain. If you really want to, if you want to have some comics cred, you might say the Captain. It might still be Steve Rogers. He had the black uniform first. He quit as Captain America because America was not looking so hot to him right then. He felt like, no, I got to step away. Cap's he's a true patriot in that sense. He's not going to take you down. He's just going to do what's right. There's Onslaught. That's cool. I loved the Capcom characters. Obviously, Street Fighter characters. Check that out, Zangief. He's a big presence. He just returned in the Capcom Wrestling Association. You want to go to YouTube and check that out. There's a big playlist. You get bored over the holidays. You need something to do. You could just dive into that Capcom Wrestling Association playlist, and you can let the events unfold. Maybe gain a greater appreciation for the ongoing storylines, the developing storylines. We started slow. We sort of introduced some characters, some of the main players in those first couple episodes, and then you get a little bit of a story, and then there's sort of feuds and things developing. And Zangief is back. Things are taking a turn. Marvel vs. Capcom is very relevant to what's going on right now in the Capcom Wrestling Association. Strider's cool. I like Captain Commando. Captain Commando is one of those ones where I didn't really play the Captain Commando game, but that gives him sort of like an exotic quality to me. I kind of like him, and I obviously know him from Marvel vs. Capcom. I was never a big Mega Man guy. You can head to the archive and see when earlier this year I took the challenge of trying to play the first Mega Man game for the first time. Excruciating stuff. If you're a Mega Man fan, you just go there to see how bad some Sega punk struggles with it. Because there was a struggle and I never finished it. I never went back. I got distracted and it was sort of like, I gotta train up if I'm gonna go back. Can you believe we're not even playing the main games yet? Here's Marvel vs. Street Fighter. The iterative stuff, it was a frustrating time. It was something that, as much as I was like a big Street Fighter Capcom guy, you would talk trash. I would talk trash about the multiple versions of Street Fighter. Street Fighter 2 was iterated on to absurd degrees, and the practice kind of continued right through to Street Fighter 4. I got the first version because I was super excited about Street Fighter 4. Back in what was it? Was it 2007, 2008? I was one of the few people that was predicting Street Fighter 4 right before it came. There were a lot of naysayers and I don't blame them, because the word out of Capcom to that point had been Street Fighter's not worth our time. We're not doing it. The market's not there. It's just America. America doesn't care anymore or whatever. Hey now. Yeah, Street Fighter was essentially dead in the water, and there was I had an inkling. I wrote about it on oneup.com. I wrote about it on Secret Wars on Infinite Earths, and then it came true. So I dived in on Street Fighter 4. It was an exciting time, but I sort of vowed not to play that game where I was going to buy 5 versions of this damn game. I think they got me just before the last one. They tricked me. I waited. I thought that was going to be the last one. It wasn't. So I might have an extra version. But So with the Marvel vs. Capcom games, the Marvel games that were made by Capcom, that stink was there, but it was also, you look at what they were adding, the iterative sort of process, and it was enough. It was enough to get you excited. It was enough that, start with X-Men, because that's, Punisher's in here, and that's awesome, but you kind of, in terms of these games, it starts with X-Men Children of the Atom, which was a cool game. That's actually one of the ones I'm most excited to go back to, because I haven't really revisited it in so long. It's got a few X-Men characters that were not consistently in the other games. By the time of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I don't think all of them are in there. There's a couple probably still missing. I don't remember who's in there. I'm not a great player, so we're going to be talking about this stuff from a comics perspective. That's what you're going to get out of this, if anything. If I don't crash here at 1 a.m. on Christmas morning, Yeah, so the X-Men game, super cool. You know it. Like, X-Men's hot. It's the mid-90s. X-Men is just, it's going wild. Then they drop the Marvel superheroes, and I'm pumped. X-Men vs. Street Fighter has a soft spot in my heart. Obviously, it was two great tastes together for the first time. I was a huge Street Fighter fan from Street Fighter 2, that first game when it first entered circulation. There was something about Street Fighter 2 that just called to me, and I always loved it. Obviously, I was already a comic book reader by that stage. I've been reading comics. I learned to read with comics, basically. I was reading comics before I was in school. I was like 3 or 4, so comics had been with me a long time. So to have those crossover was cool. And there was a comic store that was sort of the quote-unquote new comic store. It was run by some young punks who ended up... The store ended up just like unceremoniously getting locked one day because they didn't pay their bills. They didn't pay their rent. And I forget what the sign... I had memorized the amount of money owing because I guess the landlord put a shameful, like a shame sign on the door, on the glass door, locked up. But that store in the corner had an X-Men vs. Street Fighter arcade machine when it was new, and that was really cool. At that stage, like comic stores were, they were cool because they were jam-packed with comic stuff, but you weren't getting like a lot of gaming crossover, so they were like the young, edgy dudes. That was where I would go usually get issues of Steel. They had a smaller selection of comics because there was like another store I would go to that had been around longer. There was a couple stores. I've talked about these things before. If you go to the archive, there's a comics playlist. You'll find me yakking about the underground tunnels and stuff to get to these things. But there was a big, exciting comic store that I ultimately became the one that I went to, for most of my life. And the guy ended up selling it and stuff. So I was there through his whole run. He's a bit of a local character, I think, if you know your comics scene. But they were quote unquote establishment. They weren't the young punks. These young punks come in, they're getting the edgy stuff. They've got like movie stuff. I got a Kramer T-shirt there. I think I mentioned that was probably a Christmas time thing. I probably had money for Christmas, and I was going to finally get the Kramer shirt with the painting. It might have been a poster. I think they had a poster. I think it was the T-shirt though. I'm pretty sure it was the T-shirt. They had the Kramer. And they had just sold out. I got a K-Man T-shirt that was definitively inferior, and I should not have done it. I think I was still pretty happy though. I was enjoying myself. It was the 90s, man. Everything was great. Everything was fun, exciting. There was abundance. There was excitement around every corner. There was a new Marvel Capcom game coming. Think about it too, like while these games are going on, Street Fighter is getting its act together. The Street Fighter 3 during this period. Street Fighter 3 is a disappointment. And you get that dichotomy of like the tournament freaks, the hardcore gameplay nerds, emphasizing nerds here, okay? The schmucks. No, it's fine. You gotta like what you like. If I had any discipline, maybe I would learn the gameplay stuff better. But yeah, those guys that really got off on that stuff, they found something in Street Fighter 3, and you know the Evo moments, all that stuff. But for me, as a sort of like just a fan of the franchise, of the characters and all that stuff, emphasis on the characters, Street Fighter 3, it's Freak City, my favorites on here. What is this crap? Street Fighter 3 was a disappointing period for Street Fighter. But then, around this time, you get Street Fighter Alpha. That's maybe irrelevant to some of these guys. Street Fighter Alpha turns it around, man. I mean, I wasn't playing Street Fighter 3. I was playing the Alpha games, and Street Fighter Alpha 3 is still one of my favorites. I've got that in one of these Capcom collections. I've got the Street Fighter Alpha 3 for PlayStation, so I dig all that stuff. Maybe we'll dig that stuff out one day. But again, it's just that thing. I'm just not that good at these games, so I don't tend to bring the fighting games in here. Why do I bring any game in here most of the time? Let's face it, I'm not that good at any of them. I enjoy them. I'm an enthusiast, and if you like hanging out, you're having a chill time, we hang out, we talk about stuff. You gotta like hearing me rant, whatever. Who cares? So what are we doing? I'm gonna check out X-Men. We're going with the English version. I should have actually no. Get me out, coach. How do I get out of here? How do I get rid of? I gotta get rid of those filters, man. That's a lie. Don't even kid yourself. Leave it. I'm going with none for now. Do I want wallpaper? Not really, if I'm honest. None. How's that? Let's see how that goes. Okay, resume. You know, it's been a while since I've seen an X-Men Children of the Atom game in action. This is more like what I remember it looking like. Those CRT, the filters that add lines, the scan, quote-unquote scan lines that just put lines over the screen. No screen that I ever experienced looked like that. Okay, I'm in the PAL region. I don't know. They tell me that PAL is technically a little bit superior, I believe. Although we might just tell ourselves that. I'm told that PAL is, does it have a, there's some sort of technical spec where is the color palette, I forget if it's a thing where like the color palette is slightly different. Is it, I don't know if it's better, but maybe the refresh rate is better. But we didn't have 60 hertz, so I'm not sure about how that comes into it. Essentially, game did not look like that. I could sit up, you know, if I was up, like nose up against the TV, I could see the little like grainy, sort of like, not pixels, but you know, I could see like the little dots, the color dots and stuff. But sitting, you know, in front of the TV, there were no lines. I don't know if this is an American thing. Is this just like a mass hysteria? I'm choking on my words here. I don't know what to make of it. Let's get into X-Men. Let's see what characters there are. Okay, there's not as many as I thought. Does Silver Samurai make it to the Marvel vs. Capcom games? I'm not sure that he does. Does Colossus? Maybe. Maybe. I think most of these do. There's got to be... There's characters missing, because surely... Although, see, like, Rogue gets added in one of the Marvel games, and maybe Sabretooth does, too. So maybe this actually secretly sucks. I'm going with... I don't know, man. I don't know. Auto guard? Manual? I don't know any of the moves. I don't know what to do. Silver Samurai's cool. I just want to see what he's like. I mean, I just, like, soak in these graphics, man. Capcom doing their thing. What is coming out of the floor, man? Who's doing that? Professor X, this is the danger room. You can see Xavier's chilling out in the control room. Is it really Silver Samurai, or is this just like a simulation? I'm button mashing, just letting you know. Ending the speculation. Breaking my silence. It's button mash city. I'm gonna lose this match because I don't know any of the moves. I'm doing something here. What is it? It's a hyper mega move. Why is this punk? Look at this. You telling me Cyclops is blocking Silver Samurai's sword? Are you out of your freaking mind? Look, it's a video game. Don't try to explain these things. Just go with it. Can these environmental hazards do something to me? Or is this a graphical? I think this is just like a presentation flourish. Cyclops is a punk. He's a coward and a turtle. Hiding behind his block. Absolute nerd. I am that bad. I really am that bad. Whoa, look at that! Shuriken! Super Shuriken of Doom! Oh yeah, now we got the strats. Now we got the strats. I don't care if I'm getting my ass kicked. Look at this game. This is so good. Now there's probably... I know there are training modes. I've seen these ads often enough at the Capcom Wrestling Association because we run the ads. It's all part of like hiding edits and stuff, guys, but it's also part of the fun. It's great because we're living in a time where Capcom is producing new stuff so regularly. You can run Capcom ads and it's not ultra repetitive. It's really good. I fully submit that I am trash. Oh, trophy earned? Is that just because I played the game? How do I run the clock down? Run it down. Get me out of here, coach. Dig the graphics, man. This is great. This is a great game. You can't be mad. I mean, Wolverine is what I would... Did Iceman ever find his way into one of the later games? I don't know if he did. Makes me think of the Fantastic Four game. That's cool. I mean, who cares if it's weird and challenges reality, perception? Would Iceman make... I mean, Iceman might do that. Yeah, he's a punk. At least back in these days. He might not be now. I don't know what he's like in the comics now. They changed this stuff. I like this version of Iceman where he's sort of solid looking. Hasn't gone all spiky. That happens. Is there a... I might have to change the difficulty. Is there a punk mode? Is there... I don't know. I'm not seeing... Nope. This is brutal, man. Bowling shoe ugly, as they say. Yeah, it reminds me of the Fantastic Four game where they put Iceman in for some weird reason. I think they wanted... Was it a thing where they wanted the Silver Surfer and then they were told, maybe mid-development, that they couldn't use Silver Surfer because the rights were tied up with another game or another developer. And then they could do Iceman, so they just switched to the other guy who's sort of a humanoid, smooth, shiny humanoid figure. Oh man, that reminds me of like one year in like 91 or something maybe. There was another comics store, or like, it was a super small obscure one where it was like a small, like from the street, it's just like this little hole in the wall, and then you go up some stairs and there's a comic store hidden up there. I think I only went there once or twice, but my father went there to get me something for Christmas, and I forget what he came, but I think that was when he got like a hardcover Spider-Man annual. I think that's a UK, maybe an Australian thing, but a UK thing where they do these hardcover reprints that are like, they're upscaled. It's hardcover, and it's just like, it's just an annual with maybe a couple of extra things in there. It's, what's the issue? It's like Amazing Spider-Man Annual 6-3, I forget what it is for. It's the one where Spidey teams up with Human Torch against Mysterio and the Wingless Wizard. Yeah, so he gets me that, but he also gets me these like little stickers. Because like, if you've been in the Hellhole, you know I love trading cards. I was a trading card freak as a little kid. They had, maybe I'll do one more. They had these little stickers, collectible stickers, and one of them was an Iceman. And I just always thought that was cool because I never really heard about them. They were only at that one store. They were pretty obscure around here. One character I don't think they ever did that I would have loved to have seen, a personal favorite, Lady Deathstrike. Spiral is kind of a weird choice. Because Spiral was like... I always think of Spiral more so as like lurking in the periphery, running the body shop. She gets involved, and she's up to her own capers. But, yeah, I don't really think of her as like getting involved as much as this, fighting one-on-one with Colossus. Although I'm sure it happened. I know there's a Beast miniseries in like 97 or something, and she's the main bad guy in that. You got like Karma and Cannonball hanging out with Beast, trying to find Karma's brother, which was like I think that's a storyline hangover from early Wolverine issues and stuff. She gets involved with that, and the body shop, obviously. She, doing some cyborg upgrades, helps Lady Deathstrike develop her cyborg stuff and get involved with the Reavers and all that cool stuff. Look at that. Whoa. A little bit Dulcium. I wonder, I wonder did the Capcom developers, did they look at Spiral and think of sort of India and sort of like Shiva and things like that? And then maybe add a little bit of a Dulcium flourish. She can teleport a bit like Dulcium. She can do the stretchy limbs. I don't think of Spiral as doing stretchy limbs, but it's probably happened. She got the 6 limbs. She can do the teleport. She does that like little dance move and teleports stuff. They did that in the cartoon a lot. What's Colossus got going on? He's got like invincible frames. Man, I suck at this game. I'm getting out of here. Colossus is cool though. I just want to see this stuff. I can't believe I'm getting whooped so bad. I can't believe that actually. It's entirely to be expected. Ugh, I gotta redo the settings for everything, man. Wait, get me out. You can go wide. Let's see what that's like. This is where it gets real, man. I mean, look at this. You got some great X-Men characters. I love this era of Iron Man. I mean, that was a great Iron Man. Cap was always one of my favorite characters in this game because, like, just check him out. Hulk's cool. They all look great. This is a great period, and they're pretty comics faithful, pretty accurate. I love Juggernaut in this. That's a great sort of Capcom Juggernaut. Occasionally the comics not as good as that, quite frankly. Sometimes you get a Juggernaut who's sort of just like a weird sort of wide guy. Again, not as many characters as I might imagine, and part of that is because of the later games, obviously. I used to play a lot of like Cap and Spidey, Wolverine. Easy characters to play. Shumagorath is such a weird choice. I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't know by now, probably. If you're new to the series, if you're not that familiar with it, you might assume Shumagorath is like a thing, but like even comics guys were baffled by that obscure character. I think barely a character, if I remember right. Of course, like, you know, like the punks that play these games and didn't know the comics, they've grown up and they've sort of infiltrated the comics now, so Shumagorath has sort of become a thing. It's maybe become a thing retroactively because of the influence of this game. I got real mixed feelings about that. You know, there's nothing that's going to sour me more than, like, seeing a movie reference in a comic and, like, a really, like, unsubtle, unironic sort of movie reference. That's embarrassing to me. You know, that's, that says rookie to me. Punk. Didn't study your comics. Poser. You know, there's a fine line because you don't want to wholesale ignore that stuff. Sometimes it's worth incorporating. There's things that are good. I mean, there's characters that are, you know, like I think of something like Harley Quinn, who was a animated Batman animated series character, got folded in eventually into the DC comics because comics used to be like guarded somewhat. There was a bit of distance from all this stuff. You didn't have to fear the impact of those kinds of things, you know? But sometimes you want to bring some of that into the fold. And yes, there are the historic references, like the bat signal is a good addition that came from the serials. You know, there are good things. Those early ones, you know, they were figuring everything out. They're not really what I would look to as precedent. But you know, let's not get hung up on all that. What I am going to get hung up on, again, is like, look at this Wolverine. That is a comics Wolverine. This is a great comics looking Iron Man. Iron Man, you know, the comics were not always the best. I'll give you that, but this was a cool looking Iron Man, and when it hit really well. It was probably just before this period, which influenced the cartoon that was really good, where he just had like a good run of just like, you know, villains up to no good, causing trouble. Wolverine's sassing me. I finally got a win here. I gotta get another one, surely. Well, look at this! Whiffing it completely. Outstanding. Sliced and diced in the Berserker Barrage. I don't care because it's so awesome. Beat me up, I don't care. If you're gonna look this good doing it, that's great. Something's going on. Iron Man. I'm mashing buttons wildly. This might be, you might attribute that win to the period of the developers sort of thinking, how do we make this a bit more fun? A little bit more pick up and play. I think at some point in these games, the developers are starting to think, we gotta make it more casual. You know, stuff like that. There's been a lot of behind the scenes stuff coming out, you know, with this collection. There was a nice, oh, come on, nice interview design doc or something. I don't know, again, I'm gonna switch characters. Do you think we'll get a good run here tonight? I don't know. I just want to see the games. I want to enjoy this. Like I said, haven't touched this since I got it in November. It's Christmas morning. What are the controls here? I always do this. It's really boring and uninteresting, but it's honest. It's the truth. MIK. Not for Mick, but, you know, more so for Mike, because in real life, I answer to Mike. Bombshell. Let's go with Cap. I love Cap. Hey, Cap Spidey. Look at this Spidey, man. I mean, I feel like this Spider-Man is just like one of the best. One of the best gaming Spider-Man of all time. I feel like it sort of takes what Maximum Carnage did and then just does it even better. The Capcom quality, you know, is there. You know, they haven't really gone in and done like the, you know, it's not the black webbing, it's not super obvious, but I think on the costume, you know, I think they've done a really great job at just representing the character. If you look closely, there is a sense of maybe some of the lines. I don't know, I think they did a great job. This Cap is awesome. I love Final Justice. I love justice, man. I love the good guys doing what's right for the people. Who doesn't want to believe in an American hero like Cap, who's just doing the right thing? Charging Star, are you kidding me? Charging Star, I love it. This rules. This is the business, man. I'm looking forward to getting to MVC2, obviously, with all the characters. I want to see a huge character select screen. I mean, that's maybe what let these early games down a little bit. I don't remember feeling like we were missing out too much. I mean, I probably played this. I don't know. Did the home versions add anybody? I'm not sure. I guess if you include some of these games have secret characters. I forget which ones. You can get like Akuma, stuff like that. Can you unlock? Who's the bad guy in this one? Who's the final boss? Is it Magneto? Already playable, so I don't know. I don't remember how to use the gems, and I don't care. I'm just gonna button mash. If Cap loses a Juggernaut, I can live with that. Threw my shield away. Gotta get the shield, man. Is that the... I think that's the animated series Juggernaut voice, which is really cool. A lot of those guys are in the game. Hey, there you go, Final Justice. Rethink Your Life, Juggernaut. Yeah, I like the, I always thought they modeled the animated series Kane Marco, aka Juggernaut, on Dan Goodman. Visually, he's a little bit Dan Goodman, and there's something about the, you know, his intonations that reminds me of Dan Goodman. Sorry, John Goodman. John Goodman. Dan is the character from Roseanne. John Goodman. Oh no. Oh no, I got whooped. He truly is unstoppable. Back out. Toasty! That's cool, man. That's so cool. That is so cool. I'm embarrassing myself with this play, but I just don't care. It's just so good. It's so good. The button layout is a little counterintuitive to me, but I don't care. I'm going to adapt to it. That's what I like to do. I don't really like to set the controls. I like to learn them. Should we do Blackheart? Should we do Psylocke? I mean, so many choices. I'm gonna go Magneto. This is where it's getting real. But I guess you probably want to add some more X-Men. I don't know. Oh, so what? I've forgotten what game we're playing. We're playing Marvel Superheroes, and I was trying to think about who the villain is. Isn't it Doctor Doom? Or are we already on Thanos? We're probably already on Thanos. But then Doctor Doom's in there somewhere. Does Thanos maybe do X-Men, Spider-Man? I don't know. X-Men, Spider-Man? What am I saying? X-Men, Street Fighter? It's Christmas morning. Get off my back. This Magneto, again, there's a great sense of consistency because these things are referencing the comics. It could be purely coincidental. I don't know if Marvel is getting involved in any level to try to quality control, some of these things and have a hand in what they look like, because they were getting involved in animation back in the day. Marvel was a really good animation studio for a while there. They didn't actually do all that many Marvel shows from memory at the time, like in the 80s. It was sort of, they were doing other stuff, and then you'd see that Marvel logo with it looks like a CG Spidey. I don't know if it is, but yeah, I forget what was some of the shows they did. They did animated series that were not Marvel stuff. That was really good. But yeah, I wonder, because looking at this Magneto, he does remind me a little bit of X-Men 2 for the Genesis, which is in the archive. It's one of my all-time favorite comic book games from back in the day. Part of it is just maybe just the fact that he's levitating and some of the gestures, which could just be convergent evolution. That's, if you're going to do Magneto, that's what Magneto looks like. That's maybe the deal here. Let's get out of here. I've had enough. Blackheart and Psylocke can wait. Let's go some X-Men Street Fighter. Now, who do they add here? Is this where you get Sabretooth? Oh, the frickin'... It's a shame. I wonder, is there a main menu where you can do all this stuff? Maybe there is. I don't care. Game screen preview. Don't need that. Gambit's in this one. Obviously, you got the Street Fighters. Maybe I'll play a Street Fighter, see if I can actually get a win. There's Sabretooth and Rogue. That's what I was thinking of. Psych. Slim. The epic handshake that we all remember. This is kind of that's like a Street Fighter Alpha Ryu. Ken. It's all this is Alpha era. I dig that Zangief. That's a good Zangief, man. Can't do that in WWE 2K. It's a good Dhalsim. Alpha was great. Alpha was really a great moment in the series. What am I doing here? So did I didn't mean to do that. I don't know. Give me Sabretooth. Oh no, it's a purple Sabretooth. I pressed the wrong button. Oh no. I was never a big fan of the color swaps. I want it to look like the comics, man. I'm no good with Cammy. I don't know her moves. Oh my. What's the pro strats? I don't know. Tell me the iframes. You see, I favor the never block meathead button mash technique. Okay, well, Sabretooth is here. Did I just tag out or what? Or did that just happen? This Sabretooth is whack, and I don't like it. Hey, I blocked that one. Birdie! That's cool. I read the first issue of the Sabretooth miniseries that had her. I guess she was she in the Jim Lee early issues of X-Men where Sabretooth was getting punked out and there was the Team X stuff. I feel like Sabretooth Chun-Li is a fight that would happen. It reminds, I mean, I guess it's sort of it's got It's got that unpleasant, vague Street Fighter 2 movie vibe going. Whoa, I got toasted, man. I think I'm gonna lose this, and that's a shame. We're horsing around. Crikey! Look at that. Sure. You say so. Yikes. We're getting all the trophies. Trophies a go-go. Oh, okay, so I can choose who I want now. I don't know. I'm a punk. I didn't try Wolverine before in any of the other games, so we'll do that. I should go auto. Isn't auto the hyper spazzy one? Man, I'm tired. Santa's gonna be pissed that I'm still up. I don't know if Santa's coming anyway. Don't worry about it. Yeah! Do the moves! Yeah! Now you're getting somewhere. Oh my! Energy drained. Look at that! Look at him go! Yeah! A lot of talk of like the casual controls, the modern controls in Street Fighter 6. I feel like they begin here in this game. Because there is that auto mode where you can like do one button specials and stuff. I think I just did that. I think I just did a one button special. That philosophy starts in these games. You know, it's right here. I feel like that's all the Street Fighter 6 modern controls are. They're 1990s crossover game controls, casual controls. To a degree, it's not one-to-one, but whoa, look at that. That's some Wolverine right there. Wolverine can't be stabbing Chun-Li. What are you, nuts? You completely bonkos. Block! I was blocking. I held back. I was holding back. Chun-Li is kicking my ass now. Spam! Spam! What? That's not a move. How did I even do that? I don't think I hit that. Yeah. I used to always pick Ken because he's easy and I'm a punk. I know it. Filthy Shoto, I know that. I got into Sagat for a while. Slight upgrade. It was when I got to grips. Hey, look at that! Wolverine in the brown costume. The colors anyway, it's not the actual costume, but I see that's a great detail. You can't do, you know, they really couldn't stretch themselves to doing like a whole heap of costumes back then. It's resource management, but what they can do is give you a great comics-inspired color swap. That's awesome. Capcom rules. These games rule. I gotta play Marvel vs. Capcom 3. There's a lot of talk going around of the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Some fans have made a tremendous upgrade for the Infinite game. I never really got into Infinite. I just checked out of it because it looked like, I don't know what the plan was, but it was Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but less cool, a bit blander. They've addressed that with better music, and they changed the art style, so it's much improved. I felt like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite sort of drifted into the movie aesthetic with the music and the costumes and the designs and stuff. It was just lame. That's lame Marvel. Nobody likes the movie stuff. Movie stuff is lame. It's weak. Give me this stuff. Give me crazy, like, comics madness. I'm checking out because I got distracted by the Discord. There is a Discord chat. In theory, if we ever get subscribers, that's where you'll be able to go and see how much I'm always complaining about things and being miserable. as if I don't do that throughout the stream. As always, I forgot to tell anyone that I was doing this, so... I imagine Christmas morning here. For most people, it's like God knows what time in the other hemisphere, and in this hemisphere, everyone's asleep, so... It's like, it's classic Hellhole, where we're streaming at the worst possible time. That's how we roll here in the Hellhole. I'm barely paying attention here. Might as well tell the Discord that I'm doing this. Hi, guys! So, I don't know how long I'm gonna go, but yeah, I'm telling people. Now that I've told people, I'm gonna stop doing this. I'm gonna log off. Let's see. I'm not gonna go full screen. Look at this. I mentioned in the Discord that I was making a out of a cardboard. I made a little Christmas tree out of a cardboard envelope and some serviettes. This is my, I was trying to skin it with like serviettes or toilet paper or something. I was thinking the toilet paper would be like snow. See, I made a little like snowy ground. Doesn't really make sense. You would think around the tree is where the snow wouldn't be. It would be everywhere else. And yet here, the snow is around the tree. It's nonsense. The canon of this is absurd. The storylines suck. I made it out of an envelope. Can you believe Christmas Eve? So, you know, I'm not going to go through like all the crap that I bought myself. I got a copy of Christine on DVD. I ordered it Black Friday because it was like part of a sale. It arrived today on Christmas Eve in a nice cardboard envelope. JB Hi-Fi. Aussies know all about it. So I turned it into a Christmas tree. That's what I did. So that's what I was talking about, Discord. Discord pals. I don't know. I'm just trying to I'm trying to get in the Christmas season. Get in the spirit. Stoke the fires of Christmas. Nobody else is gonna do it. I gotta do it myself. Christmas. What should I'm gonna move on, actually. We can come back. I don't know. I got a couple of wins. We're only up to Marvel versus Street Fighter. Can you believe that? We're barely getting anywhere. Changing those settings again. I keep doing this. I go to the wrong thing. It's you'd think I would learn. Let's go wide. I don't know. Is wide stretching it, or is it just opening up the or is it squashing it? Let me see. How do they determine wide? Yeah, they're stretching the image. That sucks. I thought maybe they were opening up the borders. You know, the boundaries. I'm gonna go full... What's... Full seems to be the way to go, man. That seems to be legit. Here we go. Now we're getting more characters. Look at that! Akuma! Gorky! Still not the most exciting roster, but it's getting there. I'm gonna go with Ken again because I suck. I'm a punk. But I think I'm gonna add Cap. Easy. Scrub mode engage. Turbo. Damn it, Myron. Turbo. Oh, look at this. Yes, look at this. What a beautiful game. This is where it's at. This is what Christmas is about. This is the true meaning of Christmas. Street Fighter. Looking gorgeous. Hey, quit doing that, Chun-Li. Getting my ass kicked. Adding the aerial Hadoken is wild. It's a little too Dragon Ball Z. How do I tag? I don't know. How am I doing that? Stop. Come on, Cap. Come on, Cap. You're gonna let this run all over you? You know he's out of control. We gotta bring this guy down. I don't like the politics of this matchup. It's making me very uncomfortable. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. The optics are ugly, but it's fine. Look at this! Whoa! That's the meaning of Christmas. A KO victory with a big hyper spectacular special. And a trophy. Welcome to adventure, you freaks. For freedom and justice. Sakura and Hulk. Somehow that just makes sense as a team. Ken Masters can't beat freaking Hulk. Shut up, it's a game. I don't want to hear it, guys. I'm a comic freak. I'm the first person to complain about stupid things. But that doesn't matter. It's a game. Cap has stood his ground against Hulk. Relax. Oh, the shield is still here? That's cool. Imagine if Ken could pick up the shield. That'd be kind of crazy. I don't know. It's a violation. I accept that it's there, and that's good enough. Just the fact that Cap can drop his shield is a really cool mechanic. I always thought that was really exciting, and it sort of opens up your mind to the potential of other things. 1UP, I forget, was it a fan or was it 1UP themselves? The great guy who used to do a lot of Street Fighter blogs, still does it. Check him out at the Street Writer. Cool dude, and used to he used to chat to me about Muscle Bomber and stuff, because 1UP, the 1UP.com days, when I was sort of like community blogging, I was a featured blogger quite a few times. That was really cool. I like that site, not just because they liked me or were nice to me, but you know, it doesn't hurt. Yeah, he would talk to me about Muscle Bomber and stuff. That was really cool. That's where I originally did like fake results, and all part of my proof of concept claim that you could bring Muscle Bomber back. It doesn't have to be a dead franchise. But he did, I don't think it was him, could have been the site themselves, did like a creative Street Fighter thing, and I came up with, it was actually like, it was a cynical jab at the state of gaming at that stage, because I was already like, that's where it turned sour for me, sort of PlayStation 3 era, but it was like, I made a character who was sort of like a Gears of War parody, and then I was looking at like the Cap shield, or Vega's claw. You know which Vega I'm talking about, because I'm talking about Claw. In some of the games, you know, like he can drop his claw as well. I was thinking of those mechanics, and I was thinking like the sort of like soldier would have armor that would drop, you know, that could drop, but he could pick it up again. That was like the game mechanic that I was making sort of original to the character. I came up with something absurd. Like I was trying to, like, you know, you gotta amuse yourself. You fulfill the Street Fighter concept. I was trying to like build it with layers. He was sort of like a French Canadian character with this sort of like philosophical blend. It was sort of like it was almost I guess I was thinking of Batroc the Leaper, where sometimes his morals were a little bit gray. He was a bad guy, he would work for the bad guys, but then he'd end up teaming up with Cap against the real evil. That's kind of disappeared from the character in more modern versions. I think they started, you know, like the Black Panther series by Reginald Hudlin. They make Batroc like a complicit with like Dutch colonialists or whatever. I don't know, it was a whole thing. But I was thinking of like some of the Batroc stuff, and I made this sort of like Shadaloo sympathetic. He sort of had a philosophy for like mercenary work and stuff. So there was that level. There was like the jab at the God of War, Gears of War, Medal of Honor, all that crap that I don't really get into. But yeah, it was the mechanic. The mechanic was the key thing, where it was like he had like body armor that could be knocked off with like a combo or a stun. If he got stunned, the body armor would drop, but he could pick it up and it would affect his like stats. Which is more of like a Marvel vs. Capcom conceit. I'm going with Blackheart, and let's throw in Akuma. Characters, just because they're characters that we haven't done. If you head over to Secret Wars on Infinite Earths, you can find the first appearance of Blackheart was a recent entry. It's an issue of Daredevil. So Blackheart starts as a Daredevil villain because it was a period where like Mephisto was messing with Daredevil. That's a great period of Daredevil. I love it, highly recommend it, but not too much because I don't want freaks driving up the price on back issues. You never know, I might want to fill in some gaps. So don't go drive those prices up, you knuckleheads. You crypto freaks. Yeah, Blackheart's a weird character. He's not... I mean, again, kind of like Shumagorath, you know, like the Marvel vs. Capcom games skew the impression in the young impressionable minds of gamers who didn't read, who were illiterate. Yeah, Blackheart was not a big deal in the comics. He still really isn't. Again, the generation that grew up with these games and then wormed their way into comics have sort of tried to do some things with him. I feel like the original Blackheart is the definitive Blackheart still, personally. And he's a little bit of a cringe character if you really get down to it. He's like an emo guy. He's a goth guy. He's like a late 80s shoegazer goth, woe is me, cut his own wrists kind of guy. He crawls out of the earth at like the Murder Hill in like... I think it's more of like a Jersey vibe, but it's somewhere in New York. I forget what the name is. There's a name for the hill. It's not Cypress Hill. I don't know. You know, there is a Cypress Hill in the Midnight Suns comics. I got Maximum Spidered. Well, that's fitting because Spidey shows up to help Daredevil with Blackheart. So we'll take that. That's fine. I wish Daredevil was in these games. He was always like a character. You know, like I like Daredevil. He's one of my favorites. I always wanted him in these games. I think, do they get him in by the time of Ultimate Marvel versus Capcom 3? I've got that. I got that probably a year ago now, but I've never played it. I gotta dig that out. Dig the PS3 out and play it. What am I doing? I'm gonna play it. We gotta do this. We gotta do this team up before we go. How long will we be going? I'm getting a dry mouth here. It's early morning. Jesus, it's like 2 a.m. Christmas morning. This is crazy, man. I thought I did that. Yeah, Blackheart is like crying about his own existence and his father, the devil, ignoring him. All this stuff. But then there's like a cool thing where like there's like a cult dedicated to him, and this hillside where there's been murders, and there's like thorny plants grow there, and he's sort of like like Blackheart's thing. Blackheart is like full on like a Cure, like Hot Topic kind of guy. That's his shtick. He smells like rose. He like smells like rose and oil. It's a little bit Twin Peaks as well. I love it. I love it because it speaks to me of a moment in time. A moment in time that I was not really participating in, but that I was sort of like eventually aware of. And I sort of still like. I mean, it makes me think of... It's not really accurate, but it makes me think of like Cocteau Twins or This Mortal Coil or whatever, which is, I want to listen to Pearly Dewdrops and read freaking Blackheart comics or play some Marvel vs. Capcom. He shows up in they did these like, oh man, it's almost embarrassing, it's almost cringe, but like the gamer kids are gonna love it. It's these prestige team up, early 90s, on the nose team ups of Wolverine, Punisher, and Ghost Rider. teaming up, and Blackheart's like, you know, messing with him. It's pretty shonky, but there's some stuff in there that you could make something of. Look at that Mega Man in the background there. That creepy giant. I think is it a poster or like a display, sort of poking out. That reminds me of that. You know that there was that gaming show, and there's like the cosplay Mega Man, and I don't know. Somebody made some sort of weird like creepypasta version of it where it's like. It's like Mega Man's like menacing this kid host who's like coked out of his mind. He's got his like hair gel, and it's sort of it's sort of like it's sort of like this glazed-eyed, big-headed Mega Man just sort of. I'm losing it, man. Oh my god. I don't think I'm even going to be able to find that if I want to. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It's ridiculous. I think I'm getting a little bit hysterical. It's so early. It's 2 a.m. It's Christmas morning. I'm playing Marvel vs. Capcom. Life is good, my friends. This is just water, I swear. This is just ordinary water. I got bottled water because the kitchen's sealed up. And like it's a chore, it's a hassle to get water, so I just refilled the bottle. I'm living the lost lifestyle here, brother. I gotta refill my bottle, brother. Hyper Mega button mash. Yes! How did I tag? I don't even know. I'm just button mashing like wild. Ah, it's Goki! Oh, come on. Akuma, if it makes you feel better. Ooh, I'm kind of in the mood now to watch like Street Fighter Alpha, the animated movie. Street Fighter Zero. We haven't even touched on that. We haven't even mentioned that. I was talking about Alpha earlier. We didn't even mention Street Fighter Zero, the true name, the holy name of the Street Fighter revamp. I wonder who the next like wave of Street Fighter 6 DLC is going to be. I've been thinking about that. I'm looking forward to seeing Elena. As much as Street Fighter 3 was Freak City, you know, like there's salvageable stuff. Dudley rules. I like Elena. I mean, people were complaining about Elena. I think it's kind of cool. It's a shame because she was DLC in... Was it Street Fighter 5 or Ultra Street Fighter? It might have been 4. Should we... Let's go to another game. Let's go to another game, man. Get me out, coach. Get me out. My nose is running. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. It's the first official Marvel vs. Capcom game, so... I like that logo. That's a good logo. I've been trying to make logos for the Capcom Wrestling Association for CWA because the WWE 2K23 servers... I almost said 2-3 again, and I thought, no, you've done that. Give the kids some peace. They're shuttering the servers. The server sunset is like January 6th. Same day as Raw on Netflix. So I've got to basically design anything that I might want to put in the game, which included coming up with like my my big event logos, and I went insane. I went completely insane trying to make a sort of WrestleMania caliber logo. It's going to be a little bit disappointing, and I'm not going to be able to do anything about it. I was hoping to make multiple colored versions. I wasn't able to get that done because I screwed up my file management. It's a whole thing, and I lost my mind and started just doing triangles. It was just Triangle City. Hey, War Machine. I'm gonna do War Machine. How cool is that? We got War Machine on our team. Who's gonna team up with War Machine? I think it's gonna be Cap. I wonder how I pick... Yeah, that's not quite it. I wanted to have, I wanted the US Agent colors. Yeah, so I was trying to make this WrestleMania style logo, and I just kept adding triangles. Triangles. And partly I think I had triangles on the brain, partly because, just because I did, but also because of this logo. The logo for this game is, I think, the best of the Marvel versus Capcom logos. That's just my opinion. So this War Machine is not really War Machine. This design is not the War Machine design. It's a palette swap. It's a palette swap Iron Man, but that's still cool. I just like it. It's a cool reference. It would have been really cool if they did the proper War Machine design, though. Hey, what a battle! War Machine versus Mega Man. I'm gonna lose it again. I'm gonna start thinking of the. I'm gonna start thinking of the meme man. This man. I can't. Either you know or you don't know. I don't know. Come on, do a move. Do a cool move. Who's that in the background playing the guitar? Oh, that's that dude from, what is it? Vampire, Darkstalkers or whatever? Vampire Hunter? No. Is that what it's called? Darkstalkers? Whatever. We got another trophy. Let's go crazy. Let's go crazy. Little late for that, pal. I'm way gone. Woohoo! Hey, mirror match. Except they've got cool colors. Look at these graphics. What is this? I wonder what this logo, this background is. Trying to peg the background. Sort of looks like the moon. Is this, could this be the ruins of... Is it, I don't know how you say it. Attilan? Atalan? Can't remember. The Inhumans homeworld. Is that what that is? Probably not. I feel like it isn't, but it would make sense if it was. What was up there? How do you do the big jump? The big, like, multi-screen jump. I can't remember how to do that. Oh, look at this. It's War Machine. When I see Iron Man armor that's blue like that, I'm thinking stealth armor. That's where my mind goes. My comic book adult mind. I actually had the blue stealth armor Iron Man action figure. That's how much of a freak I was in the 90s. I loved the Fantastic Four and Iron Man. Actually, all the Marvel action figures in the 90s were really exciting. I'm sure Christmases... My Christmases would have been filled with those. There was one Christmas where, like... I guess the whole family got wind of, like, the Spider-Man action figure stuff, and they went like crazy cheap. So I ended up with like a whole heap of Spider-Man action figures. Sometimes I see like these American kids talking about like all the He-Man stuff they had and all that. It's like, holy crap, like you got so much stuff, it's mind-boggling. You got like all the He-Man, the G.I. Joe, the Transformers and all this stuff. You got like the hangar that's as big as a hangar that you could land an actual aircraft on. I'm like, I didn't have any of that kind of stuff when I was a little kid. We weren't rich. I ain't no senator's son. But I did end up getting a whole heap of Spider-Man action figures one Christmas, and it was rad. Rad. I'm trying to think, like, I think Kingpin was in there. That was a cool one. I know Spider Slayer was in there, which I wasn't as excited about, but it's a cool action figure. It's a little bit of a lie, because it's not really. Comics legit, but it was cool. And Spider Slayer's a little bit lame, if you ask me. Sort of like a Xenomorph ripoff, though, so it's cool. I think Lizard. I think I got Lizard then. I don't know. I used to love action figures when I was a kid. I never got a Captain America. I always wanted a Captain America. When I was a little kid, I wanted nothing more than a Captain America shield. One time, my parents, maybe my mother, probably helped me make a Captain America shield. Well, she did it, really. She made it out of, like, a cardboard box. Had, like, the little handle on the back. I was pretty happy. I was pretty stoked. I had the you know, like there was the 60s Marvel cartoons, and I had the Captain America one on Betamax or Beta. That was the only one that I ever got. I rented a lot of them, so I rented anything I could get, you know, at the time. But I got to own Captain America, and I loved it. And I'd watch that and run around with my little cardboard shield. I'm sure that happened Christmas like 91 or 1990 or something. We gotta get some Venom in there, I guess. We're gonna live the... Oh, I like that color palette. Hey, they've got the like, the 90s Spider-Man logo. That's interesting. They use that in comics, but I always think of it as like the animated series logo. That's super cool. Cool details. I mean, look, they got the Wolverine logo. That's great. That's great. Capcom was synonymous with quality
Ready. Fight.
and always respected them. Fantastic. Always thinking, look at this. I like this because this is like a comics thing where there was a period where like the blue on Spider-Man's costume would be colored darker. I think of that as maybe, I don't know if that was like a McFarlane flourish, where like they straight up were doing it black for a while. And I think McFarlane brought back like the web wings. That was cool. I was reading some of those comics back then. I didn't get really the McFarlane stuff as many as, you know, and it wasn't a conscious thing. I mean, like, I didn't know who Todd McFarlane was when I was that age in like 89 or whatever. But I would get the Eric Larson issues, and he was sort of like one of the first times I identified an artist that I liked. That's sort of like an awakening moment as a young reader. Like, gee, I like this guy. And they had those really cool creator credits with like the web. It's like a web around the page. It was sort of like design. It was a really designed look. It was really cool.
Venom, we want to eat your brain.
Kid at school had the Marvel Comics Presents issues. Dude named Scott, who I was still like friends with. Man, he got a Bishop action figure, and that was rad too. I didn't get that because I think he got that from the comics store that I used to go to, where you had to pay a premium for those. Never saw Bishop in the stores. So many wild tangents here. I like the darker Venom here. That's a cool thing. I've been reading. So I used to get into the Eric Larson issues like in '89 because I was just like, newsstand. If I can get a comic, I get a comic. They were nice and cheap, but like I said, we weren't rich, so I had to get it when it was there. But lately, I got on Black Friday. I got a great Birth of Venom trade in a Black Friday deal from Amazon. So I've been reading some of those McFarlane issues and just loving that late 80s Spidey, like 87 Spidey stuff, and the original Venom issues are really good. Black Costume era issues are really good. It's that easy, man. You know, like classic Spidey, just it feels good. Give me some good 80s Spidey, and I'm a happy kid. I'm a happy camper. And I forget that sometimes. I forget how much that's like good food for the soul. Yeah. I love 80s like spectacular Spider-Man. Sal Buscema. Give me Sal Buscema and I'm happy. That guy rules. I love his stuff, man. That's the kind of stuff that makes you, it makes you think like comics are good. Life is good. And that's what we're missing these days, it feels like. I did see they're relaunching Amazing Spider-Man, so I groan at that. There's shenanigans with Mary Jane. I groan at that. There's always some knucklehead who's like convinced that Spidey, Peter Parker, has to be a kid. I've been reading those Venom issues lately. I don't think he needs to be a kid. He was a kid for like a year. He was in high school for a year. Get over it, you punks. Come on, Joe Q. What are you talking about? Peter Parker does not need to be a child. He just, a young man. And Mary Jane's legit. Actually, I was, because of the Craven season and the movie and all that, I was also, checking out Craven's Last Hunt recently. And they're a good sort of double where, like, MJ sees Craven in the black costume. It's not the symbiote. It's the period where Spidey's just wearing a black costume based on it. She sees Craven going too far. Well, look at that. Ryu becomes evil Ryu. That's crazy. I forgot about that. I think Sakura can do that too. Who's in the background? Who's the pictures? Was that Gil? Who was that? Where's the Marvel characters? Are there any? I got KO'd. I'm trying to see who's in the background. No, I won. Yeah, you get like MJ's out in the street. She's about to be like jumped by some gang dudes. It's bad scene. It's rainy. It's night. And then Spidey shows up, but it's Craven. He beats the shit out of these guys. He's going way too far. And MJ's like, MJ's like, Spider-Man, calm down. Peter, my husband, or whatever, like, what are you doing? You're gonna kill these dudes. You're gonna pulp their heads. And then, like, Craven Spidey runs off. She's freaked out by that, and I forget. I don't know if he makes it to their home. I guess he doesn't know where they live. But then Venom shows up, and she's like freaked out because at first she thinks it's Spidey in black costume again. It's not. It's Venom, and there's some real gross undertones there. And she's like cowering and begging him to stop. It's pretty gnarly. It's crazy to think that Venom is sort of like this heroic character now. When you remember what he did in those early days, I don't know if that's a character that should have quite been redeemed like that. He should have, I don't know. You know, he's not a good guy. He's murdering people. He's doing who knows what to women. Damn, Hulk. Hulk got me. What a team. Hulk. Cap Commando, that's cool. It's great, man. It's Christmas in the Hellhole, and I'm having a swell time. I just did Cap, I guess. No, what did I do? I didn't even pay any attention. Do we need any of these dudes? Who's this dude, Jin? I don't really know who this Jin guy is. He looks interesting. I'm having trouble placing him. See, I don't know. Well, I guess let's give Gambit a shot. Gambit, and we're going to team Gambit with Wolvie. Rogue as our backup. That's cool. I guess I haven't been using that. I don't really know how to do that. I don't know how this thing works. We got Strider. We got Chun-Li. Is that Strider? Am I on crack? Yeah, Strider. Strider, hear you. Hear you. Throw some cards. First we charge the cards, then we blow them up. Can't really do it. This is the good stuff, man. I still haven't watched X-Men 97. Who knows when I will. I'd like them to put it on a disc, and then I would buy that disc at a reasonable price. That's what I want. I don't want to get Disney Plus. It's weird too, the way they want you to join the cult. They don't really want your money unless you're going to join the cult. They want to funnel everyone into the cult. Put it on a disc, you idiots, and I'll give you money. You morons. You Disney freaks, you cultists. Man, we're going nuts here. Drill Claw, what? Hey, who's that? Get out of here, you. Oh no. Am I getting chumped? Am I getting chumped? What the frick was that? I'm getting chumped here. Come on, Gambit. Get it done. Get it done. What? Why aren't you moving? Wow! Can you tell I'm getting tired? I think you can. Somebody get me old Goosey and Lucy with the Mega Man guy. The menacing Mega Man guy. Ridiculous. We've still got another game or two to check out. I was going to try to make like a serious go of Punisher, but I still might dip a toe in. Mind you, last time I thought I'd dip a toe in just to see how things were going. We went 35 hours playing Vampire Survivor. Go check that out in the archive. It's a condensed version. We did not get the full archive, and it wasn't exciting because the stream froze initially. I think it was because I minimized the game, so it froze the stream. But you can get a sense of what went down there. That madness. Vampire Survivors is great. It was, I don't know if it still is, but it was free on the Epic Games Store. So if you haven't played Vampire Survivors and you're curious what it's all about, and you're an Epic Games kind of kid, kind of cat, you might want to check that out because it's well worth your time. Vampire Survivors is a nice little game. I'm curious. I still haven't tried Balatro. Maybe I'll give that a shot sometime. I feel like that's sort of in a similar category, just in terms of penetration, of cult fandom, memification. I'm not like a big cut. I mean, you can see I don't want to think about the mechanics of things. So I think Balatro could be a layer too deep for me, particularly when I'm streaming and I don't want to be processing too many things and, you know, I'm already self-conscious. The whole thing of streaming stuff is weird. I don't know. Haven't been able to stream as much as I'd like. It'd be cool to like talk some comics and stuff, do some more Vampire Survivors. Still gotta get to the adventure mode. I'm curious to see what that's about. What do you say? Let's move on. I'm gonna put my name in, so the kids in the arcade can know that I was here. Game over. Who's top? Who's top? Who's top? It's me! It's that M-I-K-E. Okay, get me out. I'm fading. I can feel it. So I think I mentioned, super disappointed that Capcom did not release this game with the comic book in all regions. United States, maybe parts of Asia. So I pre-ordered, did not get the comic, and I'm very disappointed about that. I want the comic. I consider that Capcom, you're better than that. You owe me a comic. You're better than that. You now join the list. Warner Brothers, transfer of ownership, transfer of debt. You owe me a copy of Mortal Kombat 2 because the PAL version of Shaolin Monks on PS2 did not include Mortal Kombat 2. Transfer of debt and ownership. You owe me that, Warner Brothers, and as far as I'm concerned, Capcom owes me that. And my reception grade teacher, you owe me free time that you took away. Oh, let's it's getting Festivus in here now. It's the airing of grievances. Look at this, man. Look at this. This is a character roster. I can barely tell who all these characters are. It's so chock a block with characters. This gets me excited. Take me for that ride. I want to go. Look at that little freak. He's got that Mega Man Wild Eye vibe going on. Who's that? Oh, that's that Darkstalker's Sphinx guy. I don't know the first thing. I don't know the first thing of how to play. Who cares? We're gonna do it. I don't know. I want a cool team. I want a team of dudes. See, I'm not good with Guile. I don't like the charge moves. I should probably maybe throw in somebody that I can do at least one move with. Nah, to hell with it. Get Captain Commando in there. I don't know. I don't know what any of this is about. Who's this dude? Is that the Monkey King? Sun? Get him in. Let's go. Turbo. Damn it, Myron! Turbo! I was watching Jingle All the Way last night. It's very nice. I'm just trying to get that Christmassy mood. Look at this Sphinx dude! Look at this! Look at this! This Sphinxy Mumra, whatever. Whoa, look at that! Look at that! Imhotep, or what is it? Can't remember. What's the other mummy in the Universal? Can't remember what it is. Drawing a blank here. I'm tired. Karis? That's not it. I can't think of what the mummy's name is. Hey, look at this. Who's this dude? Look at this little freak. I guess did I do that? Transformed him? I'm doing tag moves. I don't know how. Now I'm doing that. I'm totally whiffing. Totally whiffing. That's almost like a Kotal Khan style totem move. Hit him with a totem. I just get whooped. This team is so against type for me that I'm not even aware of myself playing. Oh, was that the shooting the missile. Was that the baby head thing? Yeah, look at there they are. That's from the Captain Commando game. That's cool. So his special moves are almost bringing extra assists. That's cool. That's Sun Sun. Sun Sun doing stuff. What's going on? What's going on? Sun Sun's throwing the monkeys. Monkey business. Monkey business versus Capcom. I'd like to do like a fighting game or fighting game inspired thing, and it's got some Monkey King stuff in there. I don't know. Will we ever get to it? I'd like to. I dream. I keep dreaming, but you know, that's all it is right now. It's a dream. I'd like to do it as sort of like as a huge comic series, a big epic, but also sort of shonen manga kind of vibes where you can like follow the adventure. People can enjoy that. Did you see that? So the stuff is doing all the stuff, super big stuff. That's cool. It's not Dragon Ball Z stuff. It's Journey to the West stuff. I like it. I want to get the old Monkey series. That's what I want. Although you know it's a little bit dodgy. I don't know. Do they still have the slurs in there and stuff? Whoa. Yikes. Ay ay ay. So that didn't go so well. Why does the Monkey King look sexy? Stupid sexy Monkey King.
Challenge again.
It's the 90s, man. Everyone's sexy. I was sexy in the 90s. What do you want? Who we got? Who we got? Let's go Colossus. Dash type. I mean, I'm not good enough to really know what that's all about. Give me Juggernaut. Look at that. What a crazy team up this is. Who's gonna team up with them? But it's gonna be Marrow. Expansion type. I don't know. How crazy is that for a team up? Juggernaut. I think Juggernaut's an X-Man again. He's on the X-Men team. He's had periods really since the early 2000s where he joins the team. I don't know. Yeah, Colossus. Well, look at that. Juggernaut coming to whoop Blackheart. Oh, power bomb! My God! There was a little part of me that did consider getting Colossus in on the Capcom Wrestling Association, but it's just not legit. Colossus, he's just not, you know, he's not showing up in CWA. It's just not happening. D-Man is showing up in CWA. He's calling in Ms. Marvel, calling in a favor. That's fine. It's the Sharon Ventura Ms. Marvel, if you don't understand. She was briefly the She-Thing and joined the Fantastic Four. She dated Ben Grimm for a while, but she was like a super stud wrestler. Had a little skirmish outside the arena with She-Hulk. That's pretty cool. I did consider She-Hulk, but I'm not doing it. I don't know. There's another character that's going to show up. It's not going to be entirely surprising. It is somewhat telegraphed, but hopefully it'll be cool and fun. The Zangief stuff is the big thing. You want to check out the latest episode for that. That's a spoiler. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm thinking about CWA and getting distracted. By God, what a powerbomb! God's my weakness! Cable's broken in half! God damn! Colossus is colder than the other side of the pillow. Hey, who's that popping out? You freaks. This isn't laughing. Juggernaut! Hey! Don't you proton pack me, Cable. Look at this, Juggernaut Hulk! The dream match! Marrow. So, what's going on with Juggernaut? Is he stunned or is he toast? I think he was just stunned. So he couldn't come back for a minute. It's crazy that Marrow made the cut, but it's kind of cool too. very much of the times. I think if you get a little bit of a reflection of the times in these games, particularly if the times aren't abhorrent, it's actually kind of cool, and it creates some variation. So it gives you something to change game to game. So I actually like that. Mara is not like a character that I love, but it's just a cool addition. She's unusual. She's very topical around this time. Maybe a done or dash. I forget exactly when this game came out. But she's like a 97 character. 97, 98 maybe. For the X-Men. Wouldn't mind doing like Marrow versus Wolverine on the Comic Book Fight Club. Maybe I forget to what degree she mixes it up with Spider-Man. There is a crossover there. We might get to that too. Is Joe Mad involved in that? He might have just done a cover. I don't know if he drew the issue. Joe Madureira. Madureira? I don't know. Madeira. I like Madeira cake. I'm a plain kind of guy. I've been eating those Danish butter cookies. Very nice. I like to eat them any time of year, quite frankly. They agree with me. I enjoy them. I'm a plain kind of guy. Get him, Juggernaut! Juggernaut Wolverines classic. Here we go. Here's the comic book matchup. Wolverine against Marrow. Marrow's got to learn some lessons the hard way. I don't know how wonderful that is. Don't you sass me, game. I'm in danger. I'm in danger. He's slicing and dicing. Whoa, check that out. That's cool. I don't know if she ever did anything quite that extreme in the comics, but it's still cool. Hey, check that out. That's pretty good. That reminds me of the cartoons. When Wolvie hops on his back. That's pretty good. I like that. Oh, look at this dude. A Mingo? I don't know what a Mingo's from. I don't think is he a Darkstalkers guy? Or is he something else? Thanks for the assist, Colossus! Could have done like a good tag team of like Colossus and Zangief, but we're not doing it. We're not doing it. I'm not making any promises. I should maintain the ambiguity, that's the only thing. These guys are freaks. These guys are freaks and I don't like it. I like that diving. Look at that, that's cool. I love it sells the size of Juggernaut. I love that. I love, like, the sprite proportions and everything on the Juggernaut is just so awesome. And I love the look, the chunkiness of this Juggernaut. I like a chunky Juggernaut. He's often not drawn that way. Some guys will do him really just like wide but squat. You know, occasionally Juggernaut's like a regular sized guy almost height-wise, but he's wide. And maybe his torso's a little bit too big. He starts to look like Humpty Dumpty or something. There's a great issue of Thor that I love. It was part of the Acts of Vengeance crossover. It's one of the first appearances, or the first appearance of the New Warriors. Love that issue, but that Juggernaut's a little bit off. There's a lot to like about it, and the whole presentation is awesome. But yeah, a little bit squat maybe. Something on my control. We win. We gotta win. How long have we been going? This is longer than usual. I'm fading. Later on, I'm gonna be watching this and I'm gonna be thinking like, why are you talking so slow? I'm sure you don't talk that slow. I notice that when I get tired, I start to like, you know, I'm dragging it out. I'm not usually that slow. I stream at the worst possible time. That's my gimmick. I stream at a bad time. You can tell like maybe I'm trying to pick up the pace a little bit. I mean, I'm not like Quick Draw McGraw. I'm not the Flash. That's easy for you to say. I'm not the Flash at the best of times, but you know, like I don't drag my sentences quite so slow usually, and sometimes I'm a little bit hyperactive even. Go figure, man. Go figure. I'm not really hyperactive. That's not correct. But sometimes I'll process things very quickly and get a little bit antsy. Yeah, Juggernaut! You know what time it is. That's what they gotta do. I keep thinking like, are they gonna bring I mean, you look at the heat that this collection got. This is like a huge seller, I'm sure. Everybody's excited and everybody's in love with Capcom. They're giving us the good stuff in a good way, in a fantastic way. This feels authentic. This feels fantastic. You got all the frills. You can customize your game as you please. We've been messing with filters. If you like the filters, you can play with the filters. If you like borders, if you don't like having the black void around you, you know, I grew up when that's the dimensions of the screen. So I want to see that. That's authentic, that's real. But if you're a weird little kid who only knows widescreen and thinks that every inch of the screen needs to be filled, you could put your little marquee surroundings there. No problem. Do as you please. That's how good this package is. It's got like all this great art extras and bonus material and stuff. It's great. The games are as good as they've ever been. Capcom always made excellent quality material and products so they can re-release these games, and it's as good as it ever was. It's a great thing. Anyway, I'm getting carried away with that. The whole point is, like, goodwill, enthusiasm for this franchise is here. You got fans even making Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite more palatable. Can you believe that? But it feels like, yeah, we're due a new game. So what do you do with a new game? There are going to be some challenges. You maybe want to stylistically look back to these original games, abandon the movie aesthetic. You know, you could throw in maybe some skins. That might be a nice way to do it. And you don't want to scrimp. You want to have material in there. You want to get plenty of skins, you know, like they did with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. They had some good skins in there. That's something I'm going to look forward to looking at. Maybe, hopefully soon we can do that. Maybe we can check out, I can dig out the PS3. Streaming PS3 is a little bit cumbersome, but might be worth it, because I'm going to see what that game's all about. And it gets some great characters in, so that's what I'm building up to. We're going the long route. Talking about going slow, we're going the scenic route. Iron Fist was a great addition. I love Iron Fist. Iron Fist was a character I always wanted to see because, you know, to my mind, these kinds of side-to-side fighting games are always best when they're martial arts games. So Iron Fist was a character that I wanted to see. They did it. That's great. Daredevil's a guy I want to see in there maybe. You know, if you could do Elektra. I mean, I think they did a lot of these in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You know, whatever the final version was. I think Elektra's in there. I can't remember if Daredevil actually got in. He might have been planned and then they never got to it. And I think Infinite added Black Panther. That's a great one. You want to get Black Panther in there if you can. I mean, I think if you're making a Marvel vs. Capcom game today, and you want to lean into what's topical, but also, you know, like Black Panther, he's a guy you want to get in there. He's a main player right now. He's a great character, has always been, and he's a great fighter. He's a good fighting character with a cool sort of aesthetic, and you can get some interesting gimmicks in there that are unique to him, the claw slash sort of stuff. You know, you gotta put some work in. I mean, that's the problem with Daredevil. It's like he's just a dude who does moves, and there's a lot of dudes who do moves that are like fighters. Even Iron Fist. I mean, at least Iron Fist gives you the flourish of like charging up the fist, doing those big moves, the key punch, and all that kind of stuff. I'd like to see Batroc the Leaper in there. I mean, the problem is like, yeah, I'm gonna go off on wild tangents. I'm probably gonna get distracted with street level kind of characters. I mean, there's so many ways you can go with these games. It'd be great if, like Street Fighter 6, you know, if there was a robust DLC campaign. I almost think, you know, don't even try to keep the sides even. I mean, that's part of the problem. There's more Marvel characters I want to see than there are Capcom characters. I'm in it for the Street Fighter of it, really. But yeah, if you could go mental, get like Batroc the Leaper in a game with Cap, I'm gonna be happy with that. I don't think that'll ever happen. I think that's a bridge too far. He's a savant fighter. That's Batroc the Leaper's whole thing. He's just a really great savant fighter, and he's got a good leap. He jumps around. And in that vein, I would love it. Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Probably shouldn't happen. Ridiculous to even think it. But if you could get the Tumbler in a Marvel vs. game, I'm in, man. Give me the Tumbler. I mean, I'm a freak. I want Luke Cage as well. Get Luke Cage in there. Give me Tombstone. I love Tombstone. Get Sabretooth in there. Yeah, I just want I just want those characters that I like. Tombstone, Lady Deathstrike, Typhoid Mary, all those like street level fighter characters. You're gonna have to work hard to make them distinct from one another, but you could do it. Capcom could do it. I believe in Capcom. They're that good. But it would also be cool in a game like this to get like, you know, get Hulk in there, get Juggernaut in there, get Gladiator in, get Colossus, obviously, get that team up happening. Oh. Here we go. We made the top 12, guys. What do you say? Gotta put my name in the least interesting way. I'm gonna go again. I want to pick some different characters. Yeah, so I don't know. I was thinking, I was actually thinking like a couple of nights ago that a big challenge for a new Marvel vs. Capcom game is sort of, who's your big villain? It's a tough call. I think they lean toward Marvel characters as the big bads because there's more to choose from and the scale is often a little bit bigger. Makes sense to me. But they've done so many of the obvious ones like Thanos, Doctor Doom. I mean, you could do Doctor Doom because Doctor Doom's like, he's coming up. He's coming up with the Robert Downey Jr. and the movie stuff. The comics have gone back to Doom in a big way. So doing Doctor Doom makes some sense. Let's play Doctor Doom, actually. Who we pair with Doctor Doom? Is Thanos playable in this? I don't think he is. I can barely. Oh, there he is. Oh, so I could. I'm gonna have to stop soon, I think. Let's go with that. And who's the last teammate? I've got a thought in mind that I should finish. What just a freak team. A team of freaks. Yeah, so, I don't know if I actually said it, but it's probably the first thing that came to mind. They gotta get the Fantastic Four in. That's the biggest omission out of all these Marvel games that Capcom made. They never did Fantastic Four. And like, you know, this era and the cartoon references they've got like the Iron Man of the era, they've got Spidey, X-Men, you know, Venom's in there and all that. Fantastic Four was a major omission. Kind of made sense for maybe the Marvel, the first Marvel superheroes game because they were doing the Infinity Gauntlet comics version, and the FF weren't there. The FF weren't involved in that. Actually, something that really they probably haven't exploited that they could. I don't think they did anything with it in Infinite or 3. Is maybe dig into Secret Wars, the original 80s version. I don't want the shitty 2000s, you know, 2010s, whatever it was, that version sucks. Ignore that. The 80s Secret Wars is maybe something that would make a really cool game. Could be something to look at. Maybe the Beyonder is a final boss that they could look at. It's not one that is going to be hugely exciting. If the movies do Beyonder, then you got it. But potentially we're looking at maybe, you know, can they do a Marvel vs. Capcom sooner than later? Is what I'm thinking. In which case, you're going to be ahead of any of the movie stuff. Doctor Doom, maybe if you did a juiced up, big wig Doctor Doom, you know. I mean, this Doom is good, but if you maybe gave him some more deadly gimmicks and stuff. I mean, if you do Secret Wars, Doctor Doom is in there too, so, you know, that works. Oh, it's a Civil War team up, or a Civil War battle. They fought before that. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Beyonder could be an interesting one. Because they've done Dormammu, they've done Galactus, they've done Thanos. Yeah, I don't know. Who are your big bads that you could do that are good? I'm sure there's a lot of crap that they could do. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm struggling. There's probably like a cosmic character they haven't done that might be an interesting one. I mean, could you could look at sort of the Grand Master or something and try to come up with something, although he's not. Actually, you know who would be really cool, hasn't been in one of these games? It really could be more, almost like, in one of them, isn't Juggernaut like a sub-boss? Is that in the X-Men game, or is it the first Marvel game? Is he? I can't remember if he's a sub-boss to Magneto or Doctor Doom or something like that.
Don't you want a rematch?
But yeah, do Champion of the Universe. He'd be a great character to get in one of these games. He's not going to be a final boss, I don't think. I don't think he is compelling enough as a final boss, but he'd be a great like sub-boss or even a secret fight or something like that. Something like Nancy. I'm always thinking of Nancy from like, was it Tekken 6 or 7? Might be Tekken 6 Nancy was in. Particularly like in the arcades where it was sort of, there was a little bit of mystery and excitement around Nancy. Not sure how it triggers, how it works and all that. You do something like that again. I mean, I always think Mortal Kombat should have done that with Motaro. Make him like this esoteric, non-playable boss character. I think that would be cool. Let's do a Shoto team. And then maybe Punisher. Where is everyone? There's Ken. Where's Ryu? Ryu! I know you're here. That's not him. Ryu's in this game, isn't he? I gotta just not be seeing it. Yeah, there you go. An idiot. Of course he's there. Of course he's there.
Select your assist type. Select your assist type.
I don't know what an expansion type is. Whatever. You gotta get the Fantastic Four in there. I thought it was super cool that Super Skrull was in there because I love Super Skrull. He's one of those villains that I just love. You know, it's a simple concept, but it's just done right. You know, it's not hugely original to have the villain who has the powers of the good guys, but having all of the Fantastic Four powers and just the whole Skrull vibe, I don't know, it works for me. And Super Skrull was cool. But you gotta do Fantastic Four. You can't keep avoiding it. And Fantastic Four are about to be super hot. I mean, they're already heating up. The movie is gonna get them real hot. I don't know if the movie is gonna be worth it. I don't think it's worthy. But nevertheless, you gotta get Fantastic Four in there. We gotta be able to do Thing versus Hulk in a Marvel game. Marvel versus game. You gotta make that happen, you guys. I mean, Rise of the Imperfects, Nemesis... The fighting game, was that EA that made that? Or was it published by EA? Whoever did that, I mean, they clearly recognized that Thing, you had to get Thing in, because that was one of the major characters that Capcom didn't do, and you could do the matchup of Thing and Hulk. You gotta do that. You have to do that. So, they gotta do Thing at the very least, but you might as well do the whole Fantastic Four at that point. And that's where you need a big roster, you need maybe like a lot of DLC. I don't know. Could you do the Fantastic Four as DLC? As like a pack? Or 4 characters? I don't know. That might be pushing it. Base roster might be the best way to go. I guess you could do just Thing and then do them later. They do present challenges because like Human Torch is working the fire gimmick. A lot of characters do fire attacks, so it forces them to put a lot of work in to, you know, make that work. But you could do that. You could easily do that. Thing ostensibly is a very similar character to the Hulk or Juggernaut, but again, you come up with stuff and just having the flourish of him, like if he does a ground pound or something and just says it's clobbering time, you know, if he does that, you're set. I mean, that's good enough. That justifies it. So yeah, get me the Fantastic Four. I mean, see, if you put the Fantastic Four in there, then it sort of opens you up to like wanting some of their characters that they run up against. So again, maybe Super Skrull becomes attractive. Ronan the Accuser, attractive. You could probably do something crazy with Mole Man if you really wanted to. Get some moloids in there, get the big monster in there. That would actually be really cool. You could do a great, like, you could either do the Monster Island stage, or you could do a stage based on the Fantastic Four #1 cover with the monster coming out of the ground in the city. I mean, that would be awesome. I don't think they've done that. So that'd be really cool. There's a lot of stuff you could do. I don't know if Psycho Man has the... I don't know if he has the cachet, but he's a dude you get in there. Obviously, Doctor Doom needs to be in the game. You want Doctor Doom, you want Iron Man in there. Spidey. Yeah. There's a lot of characters that'd be cool to see. Black Panther to go up against Doctor... Because if you can do, like, legit character matchups, I always think that's cool. And that's what... I mean, Street Fighter was always good for that. Characters always had a rival. I think that's good. Give him at least one built-in rival. Do something with it. Present some kind of story in some fashion. I mean, you look at if they really went out all out in a Marvel vs. game, you could do Battle World. Thinking of Secret Wars again. Just do Battle World. And I guess you could fudge it. You could fudge it. It doesn't have to be the Battle World of the comics. You could take the concept of the later version and just use that as justification for all the stages from different games and stuff. But yeah, I'm thinking of the World Tour mode. If you could actually run around in Battle World, I mean, that'd be crazy. That'd be really cool. And maybe have different zones. It'd be cool if you didn't have to do the map thing, but if you did have to do the map thing, you could certainly use that to justify some of the different arenas that you might have. That'd be pretty good. It'd be good if it wasn't just literally the Street Fighter 6 World Tour mode, but something like it would be good. I don't know. Or you could just do like a more conventional story mode, and that'd be cool too. Maybe some sort of comic flourish. Although if you could get some animation in there, that'd be nice. Is this the Captain Commando robot thing? What am I looking at? I think of that as the baby looking dude. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? Get my ass kicked. Oh, this is Tronbon. I don't really know what Tronbon is. I just sometimes find myself thinking Tronbon. Simon Le Bon, Tronbon. I don't know, stuff's happening. I'm getting my ass kicked here. Ah, don't you run. Don't you avoid my attacks. Woof. Let's move on to Punisher. Because I'm about to crash. And crash hard. What's going on in the chat? There's some kind of crazy animated Santa Claus in the Discord chat right now. He just... whoa, he's buff. Is this like Fist of the North Star or something? I don't know. That looks cool though. That's pretty good. I'm using the Mick Zangief emoji for that one. We got all kinds of stupid emojis in the Discord. Get me out. Get me out. We need to at least dip our toe into Punisher. Punisher's the one that I would like to have a serious go at. Yeah, the Punisher. I'm not even like a big Punisher fan, but when Punisher's good, it's good. Wow, you can choose your stage? That's cool. What are the marquees like? Oh, they're cool. Gee, I'm gonna use a marquee on this just because I want to see the bad guys. And I think that's cool. Look at that. Kingpin, Bushwhacker, Bonebreaker, Doombot. And is that guy Scully? I forget what he's called. I forget. Is this the game? This is the game. Wow. We're playing already. I wasn't expecting that. What are the controls here? What am I doing? There's a jump. Punisher's got to fund his war on crime. You punks. Lawbreakers. As a kid, I always thought Punisher was a little bit lame. Oh, who's this dude? Who's this dude? Eye patch. I'm in. No, get the pizza. You fool. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Gun violence. There you go. Gobble, gobble. I got a tire. I know how to use it. There's a dog. Is the dog a friend? Good dog or bad dog? Leon. Chris with a Y? I don't think so. Leon the peon? I don't think I like the connotations of that. Leon Pooh. This is absolutely a Bubblegum Crisis friendly zone. I gotta get that someday, the original. I like the 2040 version, I've got that, but I need the original. Whoa, Punisher on a school bus. This has got some Dirty Harry vibes. You're finished now, Bruno. Scully, it is Scully. So Scully's in like a couple issues. He's not like a legit full-on supervillain or anything, but it's like is it 89 or 90? He shows up for a few issues, causing trouble. He's like a mercenary or something. I forget, there's some sort of, is he like he might be a dude who switches sides or something. I forget. I think he ends up dead like everyone. Yeah, chuck him. Scully is the weapon of choice. Scully. No relation. Oh no, is that Microchip? Microchip doing a little bit of field work, get us back in the game. I need to focus on Scully. I always wanted a beat 'em up, scrolling beat 'em up like this, belt scroller, whatever you call it. That's what I'm gonna call it. Shut your mouth, don't complain. You know it's true. Belts. This is a scrolling beat 'em up, belt scroller. Other things are other things. They're beat 'em ups. Side on side, it's beat 'em up. Let's not get into it. We do this every time. Yeah, I wanted a belt scrolling beat 'em up based on the Heroes for Hire. Luke Cage and Power Man Iron Fist. I think that would be awesome. Streets of Rage style. With all my favorite villains. Get Constrictor in there, get Sabretooth in there, and then, you know, you get Hammerhead in there. That'd be a cool one. I'm trying to think of dudes who are in actual Heroes for Hire issues. Sabretooth is originally an Iron Fist villain, and then he becomes like a recurring villain in the early issues of the Heroes for Hire. Which is really cool, and he teams up with Constrictor. Tell me where your boss is. Oh, please don't kill me, man. Castle Panta Verde, Florida? Are there a lot of castles? Thanks, and goodbye. Is he gonna shoot him? Thought he was gonna shoot him. Oh my god, look at this. I mean, Punisher swimming with an oxygen tank. Doesn't get much better than that, man. That's some Punisher right there. When Punisher's good, I'm down with Punisher. He's doing scuba in the swimming pool. I mean, what is that swimming pool connecting to? Maybe this is like some secret, you know, like smuggling tunnel. Goes out to the drainage or something. Well, I don't know. Is Florida just one big cesspool? That's the impression I get. It's all connected to the sewers, I'm sure. It's just one big sewer. These dudes are reminding me of Streets of Rage. You gotta have like your Taekwondo guys with long hair. They're not quite the same TKD vibes, but you know. Are they even Taekwondo guys in Streets of Rage? I don't think they are. That's my childish imaginings. When I was a kid, I would always imagine that they were like a Taekwondo gang. That's what I'm about. That's what I like. Ooh. I love that scrolling beat 'em ups always have these like crazy, deadly, like leather-clad dominatrix characters. That's cool. A little bit of like, or I guess Poison and Roxy aren't quite there in Final Fight, but you know, the ones in Double Dragon. Can't think of the name now. Too tired. I guess I'm not using weapons. There's probably... Can I don't know how to do that. Hey, that's very rude. Storm in the Mansion reminds me of the Dolph Lundgren movie with the very obvious Australians posing as Americans in a very obvious Australia. Sparsely populated. That's a very strange looking New York. I guess I think did they do some at like Luna Park or something? Or it's a little bit Coney Island maybe. I like that movie. That Lundgren movie, like obviously every comics nerd was complaining about the lack of the skull logo. And it is baffling. Just do it. You don't need a reason. Stop being little bitches and do it. What the hell kind of fire extinguisher is that? Shooting flames. Turning dudes into Street Fighter 2 flaming messes. I don't die so easily. No, that's that guy. Time for justice. What the Bruno? Here we go. This is the Doombot, programmed by the Kingpin. But in the comics, it's Punisher mixing it up with Dr. Doom. He goes to Latveria, and this thing's a Doombot. So yeah, we got to get into it. I got to dig out those issues, and we'll talk about it. A couple of them I got recently. Because I was jazzed about the game. Jeez, man. I'm getting my ass kicked. At least we got continues in this one. How do I throw the grenade? Yikes, I got lasered. Ooh, there's stuff. I didn't know there was stuff. Eat the slice, bro. Yikes! A shuriken? So do I have like, I think, I don't know, do I have 4 grenades? Or is the grenade just the special attack? I don't know what's going on right now. Is that special attack taking health? I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, give me a Heroes for Hire beat 'em up anyway. And then throw in like, you know, you can unlock Daredevil and dudes like that. Get Typhoid Mary in there. You know, Typhoid makes sense. I mean, Kingpin's gonna be in there. Get Bullseye in there. Villains, man. These games need to go hog wild on the comic book villains. Stop holding back. I mean, they got this, I mean, I haven't even wanted, you know, I haven't talked about it. It's like, is it called Marvel 1943, 1940? I think it's 1943. It's going to be like a Black Panther Captain America game. It's like a generic dude. It's not even like Nick Fury or anything. It's just it's a Howling Commando that I don't think even exists. Where are the villains? Where's Red Skull? Where's Master Man? You know, Warrior Woman or whatever. Is that what she's called? I forget what she's called. Give me the villains. Give me the characters. Get the invaders in there. Submariner and Human Torch. Toro. Get Thin Man in the game. Check out the new Invaders comics. Those were cool. Don't listen to the haters. They were awesome. Super cool concepts in there. And I kind of dig the CP Smith. Now look at this. This is giving me like some nice Dick Tracy vibes. I like that. Wasn't sure if those barrels were going to explode. something there flashing. I don't know what it is. Sure would like to get it though. Is it a boomerang? I don't even know. Oh, there's an axe. Jeez, man. Just axing these dudes. I don't think anyone says axe when they mean ask here, because we say ask and it doesn't sound anything like axe. The pun falls apart. It's an American thing. We're getting into linguistics now. So do I have 3 more hits with the axe? Look at this, Macho Man with freaking machine gun. Oh yeah. This is nuts. This is making me want to play Dick Tracy. Actually, I should have pulled Dick Tracy out. That would have been a nice Christmas kind of thing. There's something about the Master System that I like playing at Christmas. I guess, you know, reminds me of, I guess, being a kid at Christmas. Sega Master System. Plus, it's just good. It's good, man. And I don't have the Mega Drive Dick Tracy. I've got the Master System one, though. And I kind of want to play around with that. I guess we've, I did a couple of Christmases have been Master System comics games. Because I did Batman Returns a couple of years ago, I think now, and I did Spider-Man. Was that last year? I think it was last year. I know the X-8 was in there too. And I guess we're doing comic games again. I had to make some time for this because I've been avoiding it. Hey, wait. Who's this dude? Is this Silvermane? Nah, it's not Silvermane. Actually, is this dude might actually be in an issue. Vaguely familiar. Yeah, blow him away. Robot bodies still coming. Mind the hips. What is this? Some sort of... you did get the dessert! Come on. Auto-scrolling me away from the dessert. Should have grabbed it straight away. Yeah, did that cost me health? I'm not a fan of the special moves that take health. I don't think Punisher is that much of a punk that a spinning sweep kick is gonna make him lose health. You know, maybe if you or I did it. I'm not quite match fit. I gotta train up. Maybe if I did a spin kick a little too quick, I wasn't ready for it. Maybe I'd get a little dizzy, I'd lose a little health. I don't know. You get me on a good day, it's no problem. Was that a steak? I don't know what that was. It's kind of fish. Whoa. You know what, this is good. Am I just playing this game? I was supposed to be saving this for another day. It's Christmas. Look at this, Bonebreaker. Bonebreaker, who's one of the Reavers. So basically an X-Men or a Wolverine villain. But during acts of vengeance, the bad guys were switching their targets. They were trying to, you know, they were trying to bamboozle the good guys, catch them unawares. So they're like, we get our asses kicked going up against our usual rivals. So let's mix it up. And Punisher had Bushwhack. Actually, was Bushwhacker Acts of Vengeance? I can't remember. It might be. Because Punisher had a couple of series. It was basically like whole heap of series, villain mix up. Like some of my favorites, Magneto goes after Spider-Man, and it's when Spidey's got the unipower. He's Captain Universe, so he deals with Magneto. It's a good issue. It's an Eric Larson issue. That was one I got off the shelves back in the day. I mean, that's very nostalgic. Yeah. So Bonebreaker and the Reavers come for Punisher. Usually that would be like a Wolverine villains. This is a boomerang. Croix. You don't want to be messing with boomerangs, man. You will get pumped. Boomerang, a legit boomerang is no joke, pal. You don't want to mess with that. Is there an Aussie fighting game character that's got a boomerang? They gotta work on that. That's an obvious one. There's that newer character. She's like she's Mexican. She might be Mexican. She's got like the weird like lacrosse scoop hands or whatever. Skee ball scoop hands. Or they're like hockey sticks or whatever. I like those things. They're cool. Imagine a boomerang fighter could do something like that as well. Not just throwing the boomerang. You can throw the boomerang because you want like one of those nice big ones, big heavy boomerang that's gonna like knock your freaking head in. You don't want to mess with those. I had a little boomerang when I was a kid, but I threw it and it didn't come back. It landed in a boat in a neighbor's yard who we were not on good terms with, so I lost that boomerang. I never even tried to get it back. And I was sad about that because my grandparents gave me that boomerang. And I thought it was cool. My own fault for throwing it in the backyard. You need a bit of space to get a good boomerang throw too, to get it to come back. And this was like a tourist novelty. It was like a little thin, flat one. It wasn't particularly easy to curve. Bonebreaker's done. I mean, I gotta stop. I'm gonna beat this game because I think I have infinite continues, which is great. That's what I need. I gotta stop. Plus, it's really late. Holy crap. It's so late. We've been going for so long. I'm gonna wrap it up. We will come back. We will do a dedicated run of the Punisher. I don't know if anyone's been here. It looks like chat's pretty quiet. Discord's got some action going on. That's nice. Nice to have my pals in the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, basically, I don't know, there's a Patreon for Secret Wars on Infinite Earths. That'll get you into the what is this? It's like a bonus round. Oh my god, this game rules. This whole thing rules. I gotta stop. We're gonna come back to it. Yeah, there's a Patreon. It'd be great if you wanted to go, you know, if you want to support the Hellhole. The Patreon is actually for Secret Wars and Infinite Earths. You can find it by going to that site. But ostensibly, it's just a nice way to support me and help me maybe be a bit more committed to some of these things, be a bit more adventurous. Things like that are great to like pay for equipment when things go wrong, to maybe splash out on extra cool game that I'm interested in. You know, there's games I kind of want to play. UFO 50, that'd be cool. Is it called Journey of Wrestling? That caught my eye. I saw the New Legacy Inc. guys were playing around with that. Sort of like it's almost like the new generation of EWR, which I used to play in the sort of like a pro wrestling booking sim, but it's got some more gamey elements into it. I wouldn't mind getting that. You know, there's stuff I'd like to try, but it all adds up. It gets expensive, and I did my dash for Christmas. I got this pre-ordered at top dollar. I was pleased to get Sayonara Wild Hearts for $10 brand new on a disc. That's really cool. I don't know a lot about this. I get the impression that actually you might even be able to get this on mobile, which is not a great endorsement. But what I got the impression that this is the kind of the game that I like. Hopefully I'll play it sometime soon. I'll probably stream it, good, bad, or indifferent. We got all kinds of stuff to do. We'll talk about comics. I've got this action figure that I got for Black Friday a couple of years ago. I still haven't opened. You'd think it took me a long time to get to this, you know, because I want to bring it in, share these kinds of things. We got like a pop culture stew going in the Hellhole, and I like that. We've expanded. The games were sort of a convention to get involved with, and to I wasn't gaming actively sometimes, so it was a great way to sort of compel myself to game a bit more. Now we've sort of expanded the scope of things to include more stuff like the Capcom Wrestling Association, which I've really been enjoying. You know, because I guess my passions are storytelling and some of these kinds of characters. I would like to work on my own characters and work on my own stuff. That's another thing that a Patreon or subscription support would be great for. It's giving me more ability to invest in those kinds of things. Time, resources. You know, you got to get like your expensive pens and things like that. It all adds up. I got to get paper. I really stalled out. You know, I don't know how long it's been. It's probably been over a year now where I was working on some character designs. I don't particularly want to draw the thing myself, but you got to do the work. and that's what I haven't really been able to do. I haven't been able to focus on. The Capcom Wrestling Association stuff's been good. The Mortal Kombat 1 Lucifer timeline really started this kind of stuff, where doing some fan fiction sort of lets me stretch into that space and maybe find some people who are like-minded and enjoy that kind of stuff. That's really cool. And maybe some of you guys will come along for the ride if I do some original characters and original stuff. I want to do a thing that's actually, it's very martial arts based. It's actually very derivative in its nature. There's a lot of homage to it, but I want to take those references further. I've been looking at, there's a lot of developers who are sort of making PlayStation 2 inspired games. There's an SSX style game coming. There's some of those racing games that I sometimes lament that we don't have as much sort of in the mold of Colin McRae and stuff. But I noticed that some of these, they're recreating, sometimes shockingly, literally. And I'm looking for, what are you bringing to the table? Can you do something to goose it? And that's always my preoccupation. I'm not, there seems to be like a generational divide there a little bit, where it's just, there's a certain generation, they don't quite understand copyright and trademark law, which is a little bit weird. They don't even understand the notion of it. And basically, I would always say that if you understand owning something, if there's something that you own and you love, that's copyright. That's all it is. It's just the concept of having property. And you can't just wholesale take property. There's leeway. The owners of like Street Fighter are allowing me to do the Capcom Wrestling Association and things like that. But yeah, essentially a preoccupation of mine is to not just do a literal homage, to create something that's new, that pushes further and does new things, and there's sort of like a big scope for a storyline. Essentially, it's this 25-year storyline, and it sort of starts in 1987 with a bunch of characters. It starts small. It starts with like two martial arts guys. Very familiar kind of concept of these two martial arts guys. They're going to go on sort of like a world tour before they can't any longer. One of them's got to go like into the family business, into the finish his studies and go into the family business, that kind of thing. So they're going to go on a world tour, and this simple event leads to the end of the world 25 years later, and it's sort of this grand scope thing, and it's sort of looking at fighting games as sort of a reference point and saying, what if this was one grand epic story? That's the thing I want to do. I think a comic book is the format that I would most like to do it in, because it gives you a lot of room to move, and it's just a medium I enjoy. But shouldn't talk too much about these kinds of things. It's a little self-indulgent, but it would be great. I think there is something of value there. I don't know how big an audience is for it, so that's tricky, and money is always an issue. These holidays, if you're feeling generous, some people like to go out and see who can they support for the holidays and stuff. Who can they throw a Patreon subscription to? There is a base level subscription on Patreon on Secret Wars on Infinite Earths. Go to secretearths.blogspot.com. You can find the link at the bottom of it, somewhere near the bottom of every article. If you find it on Twitter, you can find a link to it there. I think it's sticky right now on X, Twitter. So if you want to support me, that's a great way to do it. It'd be great to get more subscriptions and stuff on Twitch and YouTube. We got a little while to go before we get the cool stuff. I'd love to be able to do some get the emojis on here on Twitch. I don't know what YouTube lets you do, but I know there's members area stuff you can do some interesting things with. That might be kind of fun. A lot of things we could do. I'm always struggling to stretch into more stuff. It's hard enough just to keep up with what I'm doing. I'm working on Capcom Wrestling Association right now. I really want to finish the Mortal Kombat 1 Lucifer timeline, but my enthusiasm for Mortal Kombat took a real hit over the course of Mortal Kombat 1, and that's been so involved. And there's so many distractions right now, really sucking my energy and stuff. And just all the construction stuff that's been going on this year, since the middle of the year, it's really dragged out. It's going to drag into next year, which is frustrating. But like I said at the beginning, we've got floors that are hardening as we speak. The bathroom, all of that area now has a floor that is being prepared. It's got to be tiled yet, but that's a substantial thing. We've got Franken walls that I'm a little disappointed with. We had some bad... It's dragged out because we had bad experiences with the first construction people. We got a new guy that's sort of like a friend helping out. I don't know. It's been a hell of a year. It's always a hell of a year every year. And I know all you guys have your struggles. So, respect to you, and love to all the people who've come along for the Hellhole ride that are still here, all the guys in the Discord that hang out with me and help, make life interesting, and we can chat and do all those kinds of things. If you want to get in there, get in there. Yeah, we need a lot more live viewers, and I'm not making it easy because the time I do these things, it's Christmas morning, 3 a.m. for me right now. For you, it's probably some sort of absurd, like, it's too early, it's always too early, too late. What I'm doing is not a big crowd pleaser, I don't know, all that kind of stuff, but we need to get active live views to be able to get the affiliate status, so that's something we got to work on in the new year. Maybe I'll figure that out, I don't know. This has been a big Christmas Hellhole spectacular, I guess. Unwrapping, at long last, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. I love this. This is great. It's going to be great to be able to just play it at my leisure. Anytime I want to play these games, I can play them now. I will come back. We will do a dedicated run of the Punisher. I'm surprised how far I actually made it. Looks like it's infinite continues, so that is going to be perfect for me because I am a scrub. But we'll talk more comics. We'll have a good time. We'll probably moan and complain about movies. We haven't even touched on the Superman movie trailer, which actually left me quite deflated. It felt, for me, it stripped me of hope. But this is Christmas. It's Christmas morning for me. It's Christmas Eve for you. We're feeling hope. We got the Christmas spirit. We're hulking up. We're going to run into Christmas Day and just go mad. I'm going to eat some more butter cookies, Danish butter cookies. They're wonderful. I'm probably going to make some mistakes. I feel a little bit weird. Hopefully that won't affect me. I got to stay hydrated. You stay hydrated. Have a great Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Whatever you celebrate. It's all good. All of it's fine. I like Christmas. You don't have to like Christmas. That's fine. Be normal. Don't be freaks. Don't get sucked into a vortex of freakery. I will be back sometime soon. You're in the Hellhole. I'm Internet Sensation McLucifer. We love these games. We love all this stuff. And we love Christmas. Adios, amigos. Godspeed, Spider-Man.